Hello again, art class. I hope you're doing fantastically well. Today I'm going to give you my top 3 ways that oceanic and early African cultures have actually impacted my understanding and thinking about the arts and philosophy and about life. My number 1 way comes from Oceania. It's the entire idea of voyaging and wayfinding. I find it absolutely remarkable that when we talk about the greatest explorers on the planet, it's almost always white Europeans going across these large scale boats. They figured it out. And yet we almost exclusively eliminate the Polynesians from that. We talk about Captain Cook finding different islands in the Polynesia, in Oceania. It's just not the case. These individuals, the Oceanic cultures of Polynesia, Melanesia, Micronesia, took small boats that for months on time at some point, having to purify their own water, finding these are tiny little islands in the middle of the world's largest ocean. It's literally finding needles in a haystack, but you have to know where to look for in terms of celestial navigation, where currents are coming, how a landmass might affect the currents, following the birds and the fish swells they show. It's a remarkable accomplishment what these people did for the better part of thousands of years in populating these various lands out there. My second is a shout out, and it's on a negative aspect. When I went to Hawaii, actually doing some research and was teaching at the University of Hawaii, my family and I were flabbergasted by how little traditional Hawaiian culture actually still exists there. It really has been subsumed very much by the American kind of tourist economy, which makes sense in terms of financial. But even when you go into the interior of Hawaii, there's very few of the original buildings or artifacts that are left. You really have to search very hard in order to find that Polynesian, that traditional culture, which is part of one of our great states, our 50 states in Hawaii. So that was very much kind of disappointing. If you want to see Polynesian culture, there really are better islands to go to outside of our 50th state. And the third thing for me is the idea of the masquerade tradition that developed not just in Oceania, but in Africa. The idea of actually a body, a human body, being subsumed by a god, an ancestor, a spirit that wants to take over and use your body to be able to communicate and solve problems in your local village or in a larger nation, regional state, or chieftaincy that shows up. It's a remarkable thing. A god chooses an individual that they want to embody in order to communicate to a larger population. It's a pretty remarkable feat. And then you decorate not only your body, but generally a masquerade with different things in order to facilitate this transition that shows up between your body and not. So really fantastic thing that we'll be talking more about in class. Thank you very much. And I can't wait to see your top 3 to 5 on how Oceanic and early Africa impacted you.